Disclaimer: everything that is discussed, posted is strictly for educational and historical purposes only. It does not promote nor condone illegal activities. A bit of history about the great dogman. Carl Mims. Mr. Carl Mims was from North Carolina and was a renowned ethical breeder of the American Pit Bull Terrier, owning some of the best of the breed during his lifetime in his yard. Mr. Carl Mims, alongside his amiable lovely wife, Mrs. Judy Mims, founded the bona fide kennel club BFKC, which registered dogs of many caliber A.P.B.T kennels. Below is a bit more about Carl Mims by Alberto Ramirez. He once told me a story about traveling from North Carolina to Texas back in the day when correspondence was, for the most part, by letters in snail mail. Anyway, he said during dinner, he told his host that the Mexican waitress was the prettiest thing he'd ever seen. The host said for him to wait 10 years and she wouldn't fit through the door. He refused to believe it. A decade later, when he returned, he discovered his host was right. Damn those flour tortillas. I remember sending him Mexican comic books one time for him to learn Spanish. I'm sure he read them all. Although I don't think his Spanish is any better today than the day he finished them. Carl's father was a famous dogman that was hard to beat in any type of contest. He was a hard man and Carl didn't fall far from the tree. Growing up, I'll just say that I'm sure he got plenty of whoopings. Carl learned early on to have a love for these animals, and had a pretty good teacher. He also had Joe Medlin right down the road. He had Mr. Gainey who visited frequently, and even Mr. Uselton paid plenty a visit. That's quite an area for bulldog history. Carl himself was a bit of a hellraiser in his youth. His friends called him Bo. To this day I don't believe the man has ever backed away from a fight, and I don't think he ever will, as he's wired a bit different from today's generation. Carl had several strains of bulldogs that he cultivated over the years. I guess he's most known for his snooty dogs. To this day, I own one down from his stock. He's not for sale for any price, as he's my house dog. My wife would kill me if I sold him, as it's really her dog. The Red Boy dogs are fantastic, no disrespect to anyone, but from what I've seen, in my humble opinion, those dogs were the best producing Red Boy dogs of all time. Only Wrecking Crew's Tasmanian Red belongs in the same conversation. The Dopey 2 Little Amber breeding was fantastic as well. The breeding that made jigs and case was an essential part of his program. One of the first weight pull shows I saw was a son of Mims stuffed to a heavy cremator bitch with a quarter snooty out. What an amazing little dog. One of the other strains was the hardtack to Carolina Flow dogs. Gabe, Sir Huevos, and Fiddlefoot were some of the honorable mentions. Perfect structure, old school, and vintage are what come to mind. He also had his heavy cremator dogs that were a fine representation of Tombstone Red Baby. Those dogs bred into his snooty Carolina Flow, stuff bred into his Red Boy stuff are all a dogman can ask for, and to some extent molded my thoughts for the future of my own breeding program. There are many other winning dogs from his yard that I'm sure I forgot to mention. Charlie rings a bell, Tate does too. Carl Mims, also known as Bo to his friends, was a reference for the formation of the breed as we know it. He was an expert dogman tied to many of the breed's historically significant animals. Carl was one of the last living individuals to attend a Daibo shows. Likewise, he saw Yellow, Junior, Jocko, and most of the famous dogs our modern families are built around. His dogs that would become famous are too numerous to list. One animal that we all know is the Great Wood Snooty. Carl was the first to use this animal as a primary stud. Many jumped on board when the quality of Snooty's offspring became apparent. Much of this helped set the stage for Snooty's contributions as a historically significant producer. In the South, a few of the animals Carl sent became famous. To that come to mind are Mims Mads Grch Gabe and Mims Hilo. Hilo grabbed attention after winning a 4-hour show in Cajun country. Among old-timers, he is still regarded as a near-perfect representation of the game bulldog. Carl also received Red Boy dogs directly from Katie Marlowe. After breeding the line for many years, he would place one of these dogs in the hands of Joanne LeBlack. The South would again get a taste of the quality of Mims' work. The exposure of Mims' stuff gave everyone a small sample of the quality of Carl's Red Boy dogs. In the end, Bo was a man of incredible heart, a first-class spirit, and a model of integrity. He has been accompanied for much of his work by Mrs. Judy, who currently runs the Bonafide Kennel Club. Please reach out and support her and their registry in this very difficult time. You will be missed, Mr. Carl Mims. Well, there you have it, folks, the story of the great Mr. Carl Mims.